We live in Texas, and when I turn the camera around, you're gonna see why I'm reinforcing that point. Let's take a look out here. I was told this doesn't happen very much here, but we are surely getting it today. So let's do something cool. Actually, let's do something comforting and warm and make some chicken corn soup. Hey everyone, hope you had a great holiday. As you can see, it's a little bit chilly here. We're gonna go ahead and make one of my favorite recipes. This is comfort food par excellence. It's my mom, my grandmother made this when I was growing up. It's chicken corn soup. And before you think you might know what chicken corn soup is, let's run through my ingredients. So we're gonna start with about a 14 to 16 quart stock pot. I'm not exactly sure what size this is. We've got 2 young whole chickens. I removed the giblets and the necks so that I don't have to deal with them. You can leave the giblets in if you like. Give your soup a little bit of a extra flavor. Always use celery. We'll get to the spices in a second. We're gonna hard boil a dozen eggs and slice them up. We're gonna use about 4 regular servings of frozen sweet corn. I'm gonna add mushrooms. I do this about every other time. It just gives it a nice touch. Celery, I think I mentioned. We're gonna use some chicken stock when we get to a certain point in the recipe. And then let's run through the ingredients. I'm gonna use about 2 tablespoons of minced onion, a tablespoon of sea salt, a half tablespoon of black pepper. We're gonna use a half tablespoon of sage, and we're gonna use a pinch of basil. So that's gonna be the recipe. We're gonna start off by taking our giblet removed young whole turkeys, and we're gonna place them in the stock pot so that they are completely covered with the water. So that's what we want. We want the water over top. We're gonna be using the stock that's created here for the base of our soup. That's part of why I don't use the necks or some of the giblets. So we're gonna put in our minced onion. As you can see, I'm super precise when I measure stuff. Put in our black pepper. Our salt. If I can get the basil open, we might actually add some of that. Just a pinch of basil. Just gives it a nice little touch. And then the sage. Sage is very popular around Thanksgiving. I think it's a nice ingredient to add to this soup. So we're gonna put this on the stove and we're gonna let it simmer for several hours as we cook down these whole young chickens. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hard boil my eggs and slice those up, get my celery sliced, slice up my mushrooms slightly. Those are pretty big mushrooms, so we'll cut those up a little bit, and then this will all come together. So while I get this cooking down, I'll start prepping some of the other stuff, and we'll catch up here in what will be probably a few seconds for you. So on my hard-boiled eggs, I'm just using a Dutch oven on top of the stove. The way I always make hard-boiled eggs, I cover them in the pot with cold water, put them on the stove. When they come to a boil, full rolling boil, I boil them for 10 minutes, let them cool, peel them, and dice them. food dicer is probably one of the best gadgets I've bought for the kitchen in the past year. I use it all the time. And not that I don't know how to work a knife, but this just makes dicing awesome. Take a look at that. I don't think I've ever prepared eggs for this soup faster. So while we prepared our eggs, our celery, our mushrooms, and basically did some of the other things getting ready for while this stock was boiling down, it took about an hour and a half. And what we're going to do is we're going to carefully remove these whole chickens, bring them over here, and they are done, ready to start falling apart on me. Then I'm going to take my strainer, just going to look for any kind of random bones or anything that I don't want left in here. I think we're in really good shape. Here's all of our prepped goodies. I am the most careful cook on the planet, my wife will tell you. Actually, that's kind of a joke. Okay, got those in there. We're gonna go ahead and add our corn. There's part of why we call it chicken corn soup, because we're not afraid to put some corn in there. And then I give it just probably about a cup of chicken stock. And keep the chicken stock handy, because whether you freeze some of this, whether you save some back in the refrigerator, what really makes it nice is this will cook down through the afternoon. We'll have it for dinner, and then we'll save some back, just like we did the hamburger soup, for later this week, and we'll probably freeze some. Tends to get a little bit thicker, a little bit more solid. Then you can use the chicken stock when you heat it up to just kind of give it just a little bit extra liquid. Makes it really nice. I'm going to go ahead and pull this chicken off the bone and go ahead and dice it up, put it in here, and we're going to just let this simmer for the rest of the day. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use my dicer to take this chicken we just pulled. I'm just going to dice it up. And there you have it. So we'll go ahead and get this all diced up and add it to our stock. Okay, this has been simmering all afternoon, and it looks pretty amazing. So we're going to dish it up. And we're going to have some chicken corn soup on this unusually snowy Texas day. Let's eat.